how's it going, guys? So we are at the Philadelphia Regionals. I have with me
Larsen.
And what place did you get?
I got top 8, somewhere around there.
So one of the top 8s, which is great. What were you running?
So I decided to play Zoroark. I've been playing it since last November, pretty much exclusively. So it was just kind of a comfort pick.
It was your go-to deck last season, and you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Season's weird. I'm
yeah.
confident with it.
Yeah.
Let's go win this regionals.
Trade is the most broken ability, and then Lycanrock is the most broken ability, second most broken ability.
It's a walking Lysander that can hit like a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the deck list and see this 60 that you were running.
Yeah. All right, so pretty much in general, I played standard 4/4 Zoroark. I played 3/2 Lycanrock. Some people want 4/3, but that extra 1/1 line always feels really kind of redundant, and you never really need to hit it. Like when you need to hit the Lycanrock, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna hit it. And so 3/2 is totally fine. It also gives you more flexibility. I'm a big fan of 3 Lele's. Some people
will running 2.
Yeah, we'll run 2. My thinking with Lele is that, you know, I'm playing a lot of 1/0 supporters, and I really want to be able to sort of have that flexibility. I think the reason I've always liked Zoroark is that there's a ton of flexibility in the deck, both in how you build it and how it plays out. So just having 3 just gives you more options to be able to grab that one of Mallow or Cynthia or whatever. Yeah, and so the 2 kind of main techs that I played, which some people might have thought were kind of weird, was a Marshadow with Let Loose and a Roadblock Sudowoodo. So I can, do you want me to go into why they're really good? Yeah. So Marshadow, my thinking behind it, and actually Rukan Shao, who's also in top 8, kind of recommended the idea. You know, when you're playing against a deck like Rayquaza or Metagross or anything that's sort of trying to set up, we'll use like Steven's Resolve or Algorithm or Tempest. Right. Zoroark wants to go like Judge, get rid of their hand, put it down to 4 and try and trade or whatever, try to slow them down. But after that, you really don't ever need to play Judge again. It's like a one and done kind of deal. And so the reason for Marshadow is that it allows us to both let loose, so have the Judge effect, but not be our supporter for the turn. And then because I play 3 Lilies, which I can get to later, it's easy to draw out of it. And so it gives you flexibility. Like a play I made against a Rayquaza deck was I Lele'd for Mallow and then played Mallow for Marshadow and Lycanrock. I Lycanrock up the Grubbin that he had, attached a DC to my Zoroark, and then let loose his Tempest GX. And he had nothing. And he just was like, just kind of stood there and was like, okay, game's kind of over. And so like in that play, right, I was able to basically play 3 supporters in one turn. I was able to let loose, which is like Judge. I was able to Guzma with Lycanrock, and then I was able to play Mallow all in one turn, which is just a ton of flexibility and gives you a lot of options.
It also throws off the count. Instead of your opponent just trying to get like 3 GX counts, knocking out 3 Pokemon, he has to knock out 4. If like, let's say for one turn you need a stall, you can throw out the Marshadow as bait to give you an extra turn if they don't Guzma or Lycanrock or whatever out of it.
Having fighting resistance too, it's like if you face the Buzz Shrine deck that was so popular, you stick Marshadow out, they do 10 damage a turn. It's like, it just kind of is a little punching box. Punching bag. And so Sudowoodo is also, it's a card that like, I think people kind of, once parallel rotated, back in November, the thing that I kind of really did with Zoroark was I played Parallel City, and I played like a heavy account. Back in Portland Regionals, I played 3 Parallel Cities. I got 9th place there with Zoroark as well. And why it's so good is that with Lycanrock and being able to play just your normal supporter, it's really easy to limit what your opponent can set up and then be able to pick off those 1-ofs or whatever that they have on the bench. And so Sudowoodo is good in pretty much every matchup. And it's not a card, it's not like multi-switch that'll win you a game.
It's like... it's for the long game, not that
Yeah,
one and done.
Yeah, it's a very subtle addition that like people don't really prepare for, and I think moving forward should be like a permanent card in Zoroark, especially in the mirror match. If they bench a Lele, then Roadblock creates like a natural parallel city, because that Lele gets stuck on their bench, which also allows Dangerous Road to still hit for 200 damage or 230 with a choice band. And then they only have 3 Pokemon that they can work with, which is the exact same as a parallel city would do. So it's helpful in the mirror match for that. Against Vicar Ray, you can prevent how many Rays they can bench. And against Buzz Shrine is actually where it's the most useful, ironically, because a lot of times they want to have like Macargo, Oranguru, Baby Buzz, Trubbish, or something like that. But by having the Sudowoodo, they only get access to like that one Trubbish, which, or like one Macargo or only one Oranguru. And again, it just allows you to be able to pick off sort of the things that you want to pick off. So these were
like the MVPs.
Yeah, they were like, it wasn't like a game. These weren't game-winning cards, but these were like
game-changing cards.
Game-changing cards that gave me a lot of control over the games, which is why I like Zoroark. You get a lot of control.
Nice.
So I can move over to supporters and item counts. Do you want me to keep these out?
You can just put them aside.
All right. So supporter count, played 3 Lilies. The idea came from Isaiah Williams, and basically with Zoroark, right, you want to get the turn 1 energy attachment, and you want to get a bunch of Pokemon down, and Lily is really good at being able to do both of those things. It's really easy to draw into the energies most of the time. And so having multiples, it also works well with the Marshadow that I'm playing. And after you get your Zoroarks going, you really don't need to play like a Cynthia or a Judge or whatever. You kind of just want to play Guzma or Mallow or Acerola. So it's just like really good for having. It's
an
like
explosive start.
Yeah, it's like the new Bridget basically for now. So I play 3 Guzma as well. Again, just really good flexibility. Allows you to hit the Guzma when you need it. I play 2 Kukui, Professor Kukui, and I also play later on 3 Devoured Field, and now that's basically my answer to Ray, is I also play 3 Choice Bands, so I just kind of try to one-shot them. Yeah, so like my opponent, round 13, I got like 3 trades up, got the Devoured Field Choice Band, trade, Kukui, knockout, and then trade, Kukui, knockout, and then Palpad, trade, Kukui, knockout. Wow. It's just like you just back to back, and they just can't respond. It's also really good to finish off with in coordination with the Sudowoodo. You can finish off that Lele that's stuck on their bench because of the roadblock. So you can Lycanrock it up and then Kukui Choice Band knockout for your last 2 prizes. I played double Acerola as well. Really good for mirror matches, really good for Buzz Shrine, because kind of the big tech that I played was 2 weakness policies, and that really mitigated the effectiveness of the sledgehammer turn that Buzz Shrine tends to have.
Right.
And so they'll sledge you for like 180, 190 damage, and then you just go trade, Acerola, trade, and then knockout with Devoured Field, and then they're just like, oh shoot, like they're just stuck.
Right.
So I also played a Mallow. Originally I didn't have it in, but it helps just get kind of the one-ofs. Against Buzz Shrine, you can go Mallow for double policy, attach it to both your Zoroarks, knockout, go to 4 prizes, and then they're just kind of stuck. 1 Apricorn Maker, just good to have. It's a good supporter. You don't need more than 1.
Yeah, especially in this deck, because you'll need to be able to hit, if you're playing Timer Balls, Great Balls, whatever balls you're playing, it's good to set it up. And also turn 1 Apricorn Maker Nest Ball is pretty broken as well. Yeah, it's like, I think what's really nice about it, originally I played Fan Club, but Apricorn is 100% the better one of the 2, because it has usefulness even after turn 1. And so I've had games where
you know, I Apricorn Maker for Ultra Ball, Timer Ball to get multiple Zoroarks out, or Friend Ball, Timer Ball to get multiple Zoroarks out. And so it acts as both a fan club and an Olivia, at the slight cost that you're having to use items, which can hurt against Garb, but the trade-off is definitely worth it to play.
Nice.
And then I played only one Cynthia, which was a little weird maybe for some people.
It's a little different, yeah.
Yeah, originally I had 3 Cynthias and 1 Lily, but after working with Isaiah, he showed me the way. he recommended the 3 Lilies, and so I made the swap, and it was not a problem.
It paid out.
Yeah, it was, with Zoroark you need that explosive start, and Lily helped that. Cynthia you play every once in a while. Most of the time I played it just so I didn't deck myself out, because my hand was like 20 cards or something like that. So yeah, just a 1-of was all that was needed.
Nice.
So those were all the supporters I played. I just played standard 4 Ultra Ball, or relatively standard now. 4 Nest Ball. I really wanted to make sure I get my Pokemon out. Only 1 Timer Ball. I hate flips. Any sort of variance that's in my deck I try to minimize as much as possible. So I try to rely less and less on Timer Ball. And originally I had 2, but I swapped it out for 1 Friend Ball the night before, and Friend Ball was amazing. In the mirror match, it's a free Evo Soda or it's a free Zora. If you're facing Buzz Shrine, it's a free Rockruff, it's a free Sudowoodo. It helps also get Lele's out. You can help grab Marshadow, and you don't have to discard with Ultra Ball. It has, it's definitely limited by the deck that you're playing. But my thinking was it's not very useful against Malamar. But the deck already has such a good Malamar matchup. I was okay with cutting a little bit of consistency against that matchup for more in other matchups. And so its usefulness is really shines against Buzz Shrine and Zoroark mirror matches. Like being able to just play a card down, it's like an Evo Soda but better.
Nice.
Because it's just a free Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so it was really, really good. I'm definitely going to make changes to the list after this. This was kind of our first
big event.
Yeah,
after Worlds.
Yeah, I played it at a cup and got 2nd last weekend, but it was very different from this list. Tools, I played 3 Choice Bands. Again, that was mainly for the Rayquaza matchup. And then I played 2 Weakness Policies, which was huge against Buzz Shrine. The biggest problem was Buzz Shrines that teched in Field Blower. I was testing with Isaiah and a bunch of other guys like Caleb Gettemeyer, who's in top 4 right now, and I was actually beating them relatively consistently. Like, matches were close, but I was definitely able to pull out more wins when I had the policy. But once they added the Field Blower, it really swung the matchup, because they could just Macargo or Rangaroo for it, knock off my policies, and then Sledgehammer. So
yeah, and it also gives them an extra 2 counts.
Yeah,
for items in the discard pile.
Yeah. So I think going forward, this deck's going to need to change its approach towards Buzz Shrine. But I think for this weekend, it was a good choice. When I played against kind of cookie cutter Buzz Shrine's list that didn't play Field Blower, it was pretty favorable matchup. Like, ran through them pretty easily. But I think that'll be changing after this weekend.
Nice.
So kind of my 3 1-of items were 1 Pal Pad, 1 Multi-Switch, and 1 Rescue Stretcher. Pal Pad was originally like a 3rd Kukui, but Pal Pad just gives a lot of flexibility in the end game. Whether you need that double Guzma, Acerola, Kukuis, or whatever, it's just really nice being able to just grab stuff back. Multi-Switch is just, I would say, is a staple in Zoroark. Some people don't like it, but you just can. It's one of those cards that, like, you may not play it for about 5 to 10 games, but when you do play it, it just wins you the match. Like it's just one of those cards where it's like, all right, I play this down and I won the game. Like you have no answer to my Lycanrock that just appeared
out of nowhere.
And then Rescue Stretcher is just kind of a standard staple, I would say. Another thing about the policies, actually, I forgot to mention, was in the mirror matches and against Zoroark, the policies are huge. Like I played against a Zoroark round 2 of Swiss, and I just slapped double weakness policy on both my Lycanrocks and was just Cloud Slashing his Zoroarks, and he couldn't do anything because he would just hit me for 120, and I would then just Dangerous Rogue and take 4 prizes.
Take 4 prizes and call it a day.
And so they were huge. I think after this tournament, though, I think Field Blower needs to be back in lists. I think I got away with playing the weakness policy because people didn't play Field Blower, but I think it needs to be in there in the future. And then I guess the last 3 were 3 Devoured Fields, and that's again mainly Ray matchup and Buzz Shrine, being able to hit the 130. Yeah, it's pretty. Also to knock off Shrine of Memories, just to
get rid
away.
of it. Yeah, it's also not an item, so that's always good.
Yeah, you can always trade it away, and it's like fine. Yeah. So it's just three with 3 choice bands and 2 Kukuis was like the perfect amount for dealing with Ray and dealing with Buzz Shrine. Nothing really needs to be changed there.
Nice.
And so I think the last little bit is just the energies, which I just played 4/4. I wish I played another fighting, but that was a card that I just had to cut for more techs. Unfortunately, it kind of cost me in top 8. Whiffed an energy for several turns when I needed it.
That was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was hard to play. But yeah, I think like overall that was just some bad beats in top 8, and yeah, this was good count. Like for being able to fit everything else in, I'm okay with 4/4. Like it would be nice to have a 5th fighting, but it's not the end of the world.
Cool.
Yeah,
perfect. So that's the list right there, guys. All right, guys. So that was the deck list right there. So what was one of your toughest matches of the weekend?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Honestly, Xander. Like I think his Zoroark Bayonet Garbodor with weakness policy was kind of. I think it was a combination of me struggling with sort of drawing what I needed to hit, and him also drawing
what he needed.
And so I think that definitely caused some problems. But I'd say the overall matchup that was the most difficult would be Buzz Shrine, just because that deck can just do things that you don't expect, and it just, if they draw the right cards and the right combo, it can just hit for a truckload of damage.
Insane numbers.
Yeah. I think in general Garbodor is a really good card right now, after playing this weekend, because there's just games where I have to play items, or Zoroark has to trade or discard stuff, and so it makes it like you just kind of get constricted as to what you can play when you face a Garbodor. Like sometimes you just have to trade Ultra Balls away, and the number starts ticking up, and that's it's not always easy to play around. You know, it's easy to just say, oh, don't play items, but like sometimes you just have to. Yeah, so
to progress
it's like
the board state. Yeah.
So it's like I would say just Garb in general, I think, was probably one of the best cards this weekend. Matchup wise, I think, yeah, Xander just gave me a tough time, and then Buzz Shrine was like scary. But I think Zoroark has pretty widespread 50-50s across the board, and just sort of does Zoroark things, has a lot of flexibility, can kind of just pull wins out of nowhere.
Out of thin air, yeah.
Yeah, just because it's broken.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was one of your MVP plays of the weekend? One of your like best plays?
So I think I made a lot of cute plays. There was some where like there was one where I can't remember which round it was, but I think I had a Lycanrock active with 2 energies on it, DC fighting. And then I had a Rockruff on the bench with a DCE on it. And I remember I retreated the Lycanrock to send up the Rockruff. I think this was against Vickeray. And then I multi-switched the fighting from the bench to the active, Ace rolled that Lycanrock up, evolved the new one to bring up a Vikavolt, and then I Marshadowed. And just like all in one turn. And it was just like, and then I had 2 trades after that to then draw more. So
so you threw your opponent off, and then on top of that, you were continuing the onslaught with the Lycanrock, which is broken.
Yeah. And so like, I think another one was I Cynthia'd into, this was just drawing hot. I Cynthia'd into, I had Rockruff active with the fighting, 2 Zoras. I Cynthia'd into DC, Lycanrock, Zoroark, Lele, Choice Band. And he had a Rayquaza on the bench with 3 bench, and I Lycanrocked up the Ray, attached to DC, Choice Band, Dangerous Rogue, and with 2 trades. So it was,
busted.
Yeah, Zoroark just does really crazy things. I don't know.
It's a really great deck.
Yeah.
So awesome. Are you going to any other regionals and upcoming regionals?
I can't go to Memphis. I have a friend's wedding that weekend. I'm not a huge fan of Expanded, so I'm probably not going to go to Portland. But I was gonna. I haven't really planned yet. But I think in the second half or next year, I'm gonna go to a lot more. I think Colorado, Madison, Dallas. I think maybe 1 or 2 others. Just depends on when they tell us how much we need for our event. That's the first thing.
I think that's what we're all waiting for.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. With the new regionals coming up, there is a shift because we are creating Dragon Majesty. Do you have any predictions for that? Any decks that you think will be good, or do you think the meta will stay kind of where it's at now with Trine and Buzzrock?
I think the meta is going to stay the same. Looking at Dragon Majesty, I think Lance is cool for Expanded, but the set in general seems kind of pretty lackluster.
Mediocre.
Yeah.
It's not like Shining Legends when we got Zoroark and we're like, whoa, this card's broken.
Yeah. There's not really anything. I think dragons have always kind of had that problem where it's like they have awkward energy costs, or they're these like big stage 2s, and so I don't think they'll be competitive really in any sense. I honestly can't think of a card from that set that will actually be super used. The set seems kind of
cool. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. Again, thank you for being on the channel, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to share the video with anybody that wants to know what got top 8 at Philadelphia Regionals. With that said, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.